Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Jen Walker, Certified Optavia Coach, and it's my pleasure to host this webinar tonight. And if this is your first time attending, I would love to extend a warm welcome to you. However you came to join us tonight, you guys are going to find value in the principles that will be taught and that you can apply right away to your health journey. So welcome to Healthy Together Time. Tonight's topic, we're going to talk about the power of intention. I love this word, intention, so we're going to dive into it. And most of us are pretty familiar with the 4 components of our program, but we're going to do a quick review, and I would love to introduce my friend, Jana Rasmussen, to share with us. Go ahead and come off mute.
Hey everyone, like Jen said, my name is Jana Rasmussen. I am a certified Optavia coach, and tonight I'd like to dive into those 4 components that our program offers. We offer independent or individual coaching. We have an education system. We have an awesome community, and we also offer structured nutrition, simple structured nutrition. The first component being the personal coaching. And the community, we have a 5-minute check-in every week. It's super simple, but it's super helpful for our clients and us, keeps everyone motivated. And accountability also, someone that believes in you and that can cheer you on. And we also have a free Facebook group and weekly community webinars just like this one. The next is our education system. We have a guidebook that helps coach you through your weight loss and beyond. I tell my clients, if you don't want to gain your weight back, that you better read the book because it's got such amazing information in it. The next, but last but not least, is the Simple Nutrition Plan. In my experience, clients lose 10 pounds of fat per month. Our plans were originally designed for diabetics. We focus on blood sugar, balancing, and eating every 2 to 3 hours. We love getting our families healthy together. So we have family lean and green meals. That is foundational. And then we have tools to help clients be successful with their blood sugar balance. We have macro-friendly fuelings, so clients don't have to count macros or calories. Our program is recommended by over 20,000 doctors. Our nutrition is gold standard R&D, and it's also clinically researched. We have quality ingredients. Nothing is artificial, and it's got probiotics are already added in there also. And then we don't want to forget the transition phase. That's also important for our clients. We will slowly add whole foods back into their diet. The education teaches you how to live and continue to use these habits that we've created together. And what you do in optimization phase, so that you have confidence once you move forward. Those are the basic 4 components of our program, and together they make this program unstoppable. I would like to focus on tonight's topic and bring that back to the power of intention with a quote from Dr. Anderson on page 6 of our life book. And that is, it says, one of the biggest and most powerful realizations we can ever have is to know that our life is not fixed. The path, is not fixed. The way you think, the way you act, and the people you spend time with, and even the world you live in can all be changed. All things are possible. You have the capacity, the capability over time with specific focus, guidance, and practice to become the dominant force in your life. And I'd like to turn the time back over to Jen.
Thanks so much, Jenna. That was great. Okay, so that is so powerful. I absolutely love page 6 of the life book, and I'm going to refer to it throughout the night, and we'll kind of go through that. And I would love to hear from everybody. So where are you in the life book? What page are you on? Throw it in the chat. And like Jana said, read the life book, read 1 page a day. That's kind of what we want our clients to do. Dr. A created that life book and transformational system so that we're reading it, and it usually takes like a year. So it's an amazing resource for us. And I'm going to dive deep into what Dr. A said. One of the biggest and most powerful realizations we can ever have is to know that our life path is not fixed. But truly, haven't you personally ever felt like your life is fixed? I totally have. And before I found Optavia, I wanted to be thin, but I didn't really know why. I just knew that I wanted to be smaller, and it was all about aesthetics for me. So I was really frustrated, and I was overwhelmed with all the information that seemed to contradict at every turn. And I really felt stuck. I felt like my life path was fixed, and why couldn't things be simple? One other huge barrier for me was the diet mentality thinking. I didn't know how to think differently. I found myself identifying with these phrases. And so you can put it in the chat if one of these is your favorite or you have another one. Falling off the bandwagon, on again, off again. All or nothing. I fell off the train. Or good food versus bad food. So if I don't think that, what do I think? Shifting from the focus from what I couldn't have to what I wanted to create for my health changed everything. And Dr. A said, the way you think, the way you act, that part of that, I want to dive into that too. So one portion of my life story was that I was unconscious and non-observant, that I was like in la la land before I found the program. And once I understood my thoughts, it trickled down into my actions. So Viktor Frankl said, when a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. Isn't that powerful? I love that quote. So if we don't take time to know what we want and create meaning behind that, we will be distracted and unintentional. We will distract ourselves with pleasure, the pleasure of the cookie or the glorification of adding this and that. And pleasure will rob us of the progress we can make every time. So how can we create more meaning in our health goals? We can dive deep into our why and how it will affect our quality of our life, and how it will impact our connection with not only ourselves, but with those we love. And we find out what we want, and then we find out what we really want. So drop in the chat, what is your one sentence why that's compelling and meaningful to you? What do you guys want? Harvard did a study of those who were setting goals, finding that 90% of all those who set goals set them based off dissatisfaction, which translates into setting goals based off the things that they don't want. Comparing this to creating goals based off vision, translating into setting goals based off what they do want, having an intentional goal. This is also something that Dr. A talks about constantly. And when I do health assessments with people, most people are setting goals based off dissatisfaction, which can be motivating for the short term, but it won't be lasting. And we have to shift into what we do want to have the focus there. So I rephrase what they don't want into what they do want by reframing it. And you guys can do that too in your own goals. And that's one way to create more meaning into our health goals. I'm going to share with you another way to apply deeper meaning to our language that we use. Last week I spoke about I didn't speak about it, but last week we spoke about the drama triangle. The language that was used in the victim frame is like, I have to, I should, I need to, okay? Versus the empowerment triangle. I get to, I want to, I choose to. So if the meaning is gone, if the meaning is not clear, if the meaning is unconscious, it was me, you'll distract yourself with pleasure. And the people you spend time with, and even the world you live in, can all be changed. I love that part of Dr. A's quote. We're going back to that. So you've heard the 5 people you spend the most time with, you become like. And a lot of people want to be healthy, but they don't have a support system to do so. And that's where our Optavia community comes in and is valued. We need you and you need us, and spend time with us. You are invited. And what type of world do you live in? And how do you contribute to that? So all things are possible. Let's just dissect this next part. I would love to apply this to my story. Time for me to dream, to shift focus. As I found Optavia, what did I want to create? What did I want? I got clear on that. And I asked myself, what does the future Jen Walker think? What does she do? What does she wear? What emotions, this is a big one, what emotions will be created? What's easier or more enjoyable for the future Jen Walker? And what activities am I doing? What if my dream goals were possible? And would I be asking myself different questions? So the quality of our questions are determined by the quality of our, sorry, I got to redo that. The quality of our questions determine the quality of our lives. This is by Tony Robbins. He said, all things are possible. You have the capability over time. And it takes time to get unhealthy. It also takes time to get healthier. And we need to reprogram our thinking, including the questions that we ask ourselves. So Dr. A said, I quote, with specific focus. So for me, I started with clarity for my goals and personal responsibility, a decision that is huge to be intentional. So did you know that we make 35,000 decisions daily? We have to have intention to guide us to our goals. It won't just happen for us. So you can close your eyes and you can shoot the arrow, but don't expect to hit the target. So for the last few years, I've loved wrapping my mind around the word intentional, and it's such a powerful word. So instead of saying I went off plan or I cheated, shift into what did I really want to do? I wanted the cookie, but what did I want more than the cookie? And would the cookie be holding me back from what I really wanted? So instead of saying I cheated, I found it better to say I wasn't intentional. In my experience, this gives me power back as I realize that it's a choice and I'm not a victim. Looking back, what did I learn from the experience? And what will help me move into a new identity? With specific focus, guidance, and practice. Okay, I love this picture of this lady, just having a little taste, right? I lost 40 pounds with the Nursing Moms program after baby 6. I did not have all the answers after I lost the 40 pounds, but I did have the guidance. And I created practice, also known as the daily habits. And the Lifebook is an incredible resource that teaches us how to gain self-awareness, the power of choice, and personal responsibility. It teaches us how to change our lifestyle and think differently. We can learn how to lead from the future self and act in the now. So I remember growing up, even in high school, I was known for my baking skills. Like I was the awesomeness. And I created an identity around making all things yummy. And I loved sugar, but I also felt out of control at the same time. So when it came to starting the program and cooking, I found that my brain would always want to glorify everything that I would be cooking. And I would want to make it just a little bit better, just whatever. I added a pinch of this, or I'd broil it with brown sugar, or I had whipping cream. And drop it in the chat. What are some things that you guys have done to glorify your meals? Do you try to get away with things? And do you find yourself thinking this won't hurt or it won't count? Our brains are always avoiding pain and seeking pleasure. So this is a totally normal process. Wanting to make something taste even better is human, and it doesn't serve us necessarily. Are we being intentional? Okay, I would love to share an example of how we can use specific focus, guidance, and practice in our nutritional program to create the results that we want. So I will be using our 5-in-1 program as an example, and we'll have several programs such as the Nursing Moms program, the Heavy Exercising program, Type 1 and Type 2 diabetic programs, the Weight Gain program, but our most popular with the highest results of our weight loss is the 5-in-1 program. So in our 5-in-1 program, we utilize 5 of our high quality nutritional fuelings that Jana referred to at the beginning, and our 1 veggie and protein meal to create results. And our 5-in-1 program is very deliberate, precise, and intentional. So it creates the predictable transformation. It's carb protein balance. It creates a low form of ketosis where our bodies will use our fat as an energy source. So we don't count calories or macros. We have everything figured out for you. It's easy, it's goof proof. And we have the clinical studies to prove it. In my experience, clients who follow the 5-in-1 are losing 10 to 12 pounds per month. And talk about becoming the dominant force in your life. Bottom line, to be in ketosis, you need to be 100% on plan for 3 to 5 days. Licks, bites, or tastes, known as BLTs, are not creating intention, and you will not be 100% on plan. You will fall out of fat burn. So my brain goes, you guys love this picture of me eating rice. My brain goes back to my cooking experience. You guys, I am really bad at making rice. You want to know why? because I had done it for so many years that I thought I could eyeball it. And I didn't follow a recipe. For the last 3 or 4 years, it's been mushy or it's been hard and like crunchy. So it's not a good sight. I usually use cauliflower rice, but like when I cook it for my family, right? So it's awful. And in prep for today, I pulled up a recipe and shocker, it turned out perfect. I measured and I was intentional. So let's circle back to what do you want? Do you feel you should? Do you feel you need to lose 10 pounds this month? If you're struggling on your program, is there a chance that it could be because the meaning for you isn't deep enough in reference to Viktor Frankl? Are you allowing the distractions? And have you decided? That's huge. The 5-in-1 requires specific intention and self-discipline, which will also translate into transition when you guys will be using that same brain muscle of self-discipline. So there's a difference between interest and commitment. And when you are interested in doing something, you do it when it's convenient. And when you are committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. Our clients use the tools and habits and mindset that they've learned and continue to move into the optimization phase. So you never arrive in your health, but you're constantly working on it and creating new goals and creating your best life. So what program are you guys on? And why did you choose that program? And are you really following the plan? Are you choosing to be intentional with that plan? So where is one improvement that you can make from what you learned today? And I love this little adage, modify the program, modify the results. Learn what you want, decide what to do, learn the language of health, and shift into your dream health goals. In recap, read 1 page of the life book. Who's doing that? You guys put a 1 in the chat if you're doing that per day. Shift your thinking and lead from your future self and act in the now. Create a deep meaning and be intentional and work your plan. There are some 1s in there, so I'm so happy for you. Now I would love to introduce my friend Twyla to share her story.
Hello, everyone. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good. We're ready.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you for inviting me to share tonight. I'm really humbled, actually. So my life before Optavia, when I found Optavia was basically a life where I was just going through the motions. I was reacting to everything around me. I felt like I had no control. And actually looking back, I realized that I played the victim role often. It became habitual. I grew up with a background actually of sexual abuse as a child and within my abuse in my marriage. I suffered a lot of trauma, and after 10 years was able to end my marriage. And then I was living paycheck to paycheck as a single mother without any help from my ex. I had suffered emotionally for a long time that I found myself coping with food and sugar addiction and found myself approaching a weight close to like 300 pounds. My emotional pain was so great and I didn't know how to process it, and I just wanted it to go away. I was severely depressed and exhausted all the time. I suffered from swollen ankles, feet, and I just couldn't even think about walking, running, or exercising or anything like that after work. After years of living like this, I was facing borderline diabetes, a fatty liver, high blood pressure, and a possibility of a stroke. In 2019, months after suffering this almost stroke, I started the program with Optavia, being desperate to try anything to get the weight off. And of course, I didn't think it would work, actually, because I tried a lot of other programs. But underneath, I hoped it would, and it would prove me wrong, because I knew I needed a change. It was necessary. I was facing an early death with a stroke. And I needed to be, I wanted to be here for my daughter. She's a autistic high functioning, but is disabled due to some complicated connective tissue disorders. And she really depends on me. I was motivated and I took the leap of faith and I jumped in, and I actually have lost 90 pounds so far. I'm not facing diabetes anymore. I'm have a healthier liver, and I have felt the best I have in years. I have more energy. I have no more leg pain or swollen ankles. And I can do things like cross my legs when sitting down in a dress, sit in my car without the steering wheel hitting me. Now I can fly on the plane comfortably and not ask for the big extension seatbelts. Um, and I can go on a hike now and not be the one that's winded and leaving everybody behind because I'm last and pulling everybody down. And the fact now I can dance, my passion, I love it. I love dancing, and I can do that without having chest pain or feel like I can't breathe. It's great. But the biggest win for me, I think, is the mindset change. I've been learning to see myself as a victim no more. And this mentality before caused me negative thinking, building walls of distrust, and that affected and cost me a lot of my relationships. And now I'm learning to choose to be the creator of my life and being vulnerable and more positive and better at building trust with others. I'm learning to process my emotions and make healthier habits that affect the way I look at food and my relationships. I am so grateful to the personal growth that I've learned with this program to help me with my challenges in my life and with my mindset and the skills to cope better with the stress and problems in my life. Because I still struggle daily with these things, but I'm in a better place, and I've finally found that peace and joy that's eluded me before. This community has also brought me a lot of positive support and such a great love. I can't say more. Of course, my journey isn't over, and I'm continuing, and I still have 30, 40 pounds more to lose to reach my goal weight, but I'm enjoying this journey, especially the personal growth I'm making with my mindset. One of those decisions was to become a coach and pay it forward and help others find their peace and joy, and really to take back control of their lives. Coaching has helped me actually to stay in check with my own health. I'm always learning, and I'm always learning to lead by example. And I enjoy the new relationships I'm building and the love that I'm sharing in their success and joy. It's the best thing to share in someone else's success and see their happiness. And of course, lastly, I really do this for my daughter, as I want to be an example to her, an inspiration, but ultimately provide her a better and more abundant life full of joy. Thank you so much for letting me share my story tonight. Did you know that Optavia has been around for 40 plus years and is now a $1 billion brand and has affected over 2 million lives? We were named the second fastest growing company in the world by Fortune magazine in 2020. And we need more people who want to reach out to their communities to affect change in the health world. We are going to end our call with some basics about starting your own turkey coaching business. It may or may not be for you, but you'll never know until you look at it, right? Otherwise, thank you for joining the Healthy Together time tonight, and we'll see you next week.